So check this out, guys. As most of you know, if you've watched my channel for a while, you realize that I do some disaster recovery and disaster relief work. When I am out, especially in an area that has absolutely no power, it's very important to have emergency lighting on your vehicle. One of the newest purchases I have is this Phoenix light bar. This is really cool. It uses all 4-watt LED modules in the back. I have white on the side, amber on the front and back, has a ton of flash patterns. This thing is really, really cool, and it's 100% made in America, which makes it awesome. I have a dilemma, however. How do you get a light like this that uses magnetic mounts to stick to an aluminum truck? Well, I think I have an answer for that, and I think you're going to want to watch this video if you're interested. So what you are looking at in front of me is a very innovative product called a SeaSucker. These are vacuum mounts that essentially vacuum to any smooth, clean surface and give you a tremendous amount of holding power. These were originally designed to hold things like bike racks and utility parts to vehicles while you're driving down the road at interstate speeds. Yes, that means somebody attaches this to the back windshield of a vehicle, to the top of a vehicle, and they put a mount on top that enables them to carry a mountain bike or a road bike or some type of sporting good equipment on their vehicle and not have to worry about it coming off. Now, of course, you absolutely need to make sure that it's going on a clean, smooth surface like glass or a painted surface that doesn't have dust, debris, things like that that could cause the suction to fail. This works in a very interesting way. So typically, most of your suction cups that you might see on the windshield of your vehicle have a little lever that you pull and release to either put pressure in or to release the suction cup. This one actually has this little pumping mechanism on the side that you simply pump, and it pulls air out through that little valve right there. So to demonstrate, if I put it on the side of my truck right here and I start suctioning in, you'll start to see the little line disappear right there, and it is essentially fixed to the side of my truck until I release it. And to release it, you're going to squeeze in and pull out on these two side tabs, and it lets you release it. You might have even seen something similar on movies where people are scaling tall buildings and they're attaching it to the glass, pumping the pressure out, and then they release it. This is a really, really cool product, and I have a very interesting way that I'm going to apply it to my truck. As you can see, I have 4 of these vacuum mounts. They have this little protective piece of plastic that's on the bottom of them when you get them. These things are not what I would consider to be inexpensive, but they're worth it considering what they're designed to do. They run about 50 bucks each. Really, I'd probably only need 2 of them, but I got 4 of them just to make sure that I'm putting the right amount of pressure, given the fact that the light bar will be on the top of the vehicle and it's going to be subjected to potentially high winds. Now, one way a lot of people want to know how you can tell if the suction's about to fail is this part right here will start to come out if it doesn't have a good grip. So after a couple of hours, if you check it and these pieces are still sucked in like this and it's not revealing any of this area here, then you know you still have a good suction, and that's essentially what you want to look for. If not, you can clean the surface off, clean the bottom, make it a little damp right here, push it down, pump the air out, and these things will adhere very, very well to a vehicle. You could probably find a dozen different things you can use these for on your vehicle, on your RV, if you need to attach things to windows, if you need to attach things to the fiberglass. These are just a very, very cool and innovative solution, and one that I'm glad I found. Now, looking back at the light bar, you can see that it has these 4 magnetic feet. Again, there's no place to attach it to the truck. So what I'm going to do is remove these, and I'm going to position an aluminum channel across here, and I'm going to attach these to the aluminum channel. Okay, let me show you what I've done so far. I'm here in my kitchen, and I have unscrewed to remove these 4 magnetic pads off of the bottom of the light bar. Once you remove them, you'll see you have the 4 mounting holes, which are almost flush with the bottom of the light bar. They are recessed just a hair, maybe about a 1/16 of an inch. I bought this 1-inch piece of aluminum bracket. I've cut them to 16 inches long, 1 inch wide, and 1/8 of an inch thick. I used my metal bender to form the brackets so they rest on the mounting holes that were used for the magnets, so it will sit like this. Now, what I've also done is I've removed the cap off of the SeaSuckers. It's 4 fasteners like this. I then took the cap and measured it on the aluminum channel. I have 4 screws that will go directly into the threaded nut that's right here, and then I will attach the other 4 through this hole right here using locking nuts on the end. So when everything's said and done, this should be a pretty sturdy setup. these SeaSuckers are going to be more than capable of holding this to the top of the vehicle, I think at any speed. I could probably mount these on top of a Ferrari and still have no issue with it potentially coming off. So very confident in how this is going to turn out, and I will be right back once I have everything attached. Okay, so I have everything attached. The SeaSuckers are connected to the aluminum brackets that I made, which are connected to the bottom of the light bar. You don't see any of the color right here, which means that these are attached to the surface properly. You can always monitor these. If you see these starting to pull out like this and you see a little bit of color, that simply means that you need to pump it back up or probably clean the surface better before you adhere them. That way there's no air leak or anything getting underneath it. There have been people who have used these SeaSuckers for hours and hours and even days on vehicles to hold down a mount or some type of a rack on the back of their vehicle. So I don't have any fear that one might come off, and even if one does, you have 3 others that are going to support it. Even if 2 come off, 2 of them have more than enough strength to keep this thing on, even driving at interstate speeds. Anyways, it looks really good. I'm very impressed with the setup. I'm going to paint these aluminum brackets black so that they match. Here's a shot of the bottom if you want to see what it looks like, how it's attached. It is definitely going to work for what I need it for. So the next test I'm going to do is put this on the truck and see how it performs. So one of the first things you do before you try to suction it to the vehicle is moisten the little rubber pads. It actually tells you to do so on the bottom of each one of the rubber pads. So I have a little wet napkin here. I'm going to simply wipe some water onto the bottom. Also quickly going to wipe off the sunroof to get any dirt or debris off of it so it has a better suction. As far as power connection, I'm simply going to plug the powered 12-volt connector into the back of my toolbox where I installed a 12-volt outlet. Definitely recommend you watch the video where I put that on my toolbox. It's come in really handy and it works really well for a quick power connection to an upfitter. And here's one last look at the SeaSuckers attached. Again, if you see orange right there, you simply press it in and it adds suction. Looks really good. It's actually pretty low profile too. It probably sticks up a total of about 4, maybe 4.5 inches off the top. This is just another way to attach an emergency light like this without having to drill into the top of the truck. And of course you can't attach it magnetically because it is aluminum, but this is a good temporary solution to give you a mounting option for all sorts of different things. And with these SeaSuckers, you can really mount a bunch of different accessories to this, whether it's a bike rack or maybe even a longer light bar, and you want to mount these closer to the side because you don't want to use the straps that attach it to the channels inside of your door. Anyways, guys, this is a really cool upgrade. I'll put a link in the description to SeaSucker's website if you're interested in getting some of these. And it's probably something you might want to consider if you need to attach something to the roof section of your truck, whatever it might be. Guys, if you haven't had a chance, please take a moment, subscribe to my channel, give me a thumbs up, and we'll talk to you again very soon.